We all hear voices. Sometimes they emerge as whispers. Other days they swarm us like bees, buzzing with doubt, with fear, with shame. We hold these thoughts like weights, and sometimes in stories they take form. We've all felt shame, and stories have always depicted it in some aspect. Sometimes it hides behind other emotions, such as anger, fear, control. Other times it takes center stage, exposing what people fear most: rejection, abandonment, isolation. These stories are deeper than entertainment. They portray a human experience. Shame isolates, but in the end, it doesn't have to. K-Pop Demon Hunters proves this fact. In this movie, shame isn't just a metaphor. It's physical. In Rumi, we see a talented singer and lead member of Huntrix, a K-pop band that fights demons with their voices. They use their music to fortify the Hanmoon, a barrier that prevents demons from entering. And it's worked for many generations. Rumi loves her life and her band members. In Zoe and Mira, she sees her family, but deep down she hides a secret. Rumi is part demon, and no one knows except her mentor. In fact, it was she who pushed Rumi to hide the marks. So Rumi hides the truth from her friends and the world. But then she meets Jinu, a demon. Jinu is the lead singer of Soulja Boys, and he wants to break the Hanmoon. Huntrix will do everything in its power to stop the boy band. But then he sees her marks during their fight and realizes she's a demon too. And the story shifts. Jinu reaches out to Rumi, initially to get close to her, but we see that he also relates to her. Rumi doesn't trust him and is on edge around him, but Rumi also acknowledges his pain. He tells Rumi that his family lived in poverty and were starving, so he signed away his life in hopes of freeing them from hardship, and in turn became the Demon King's puppet. The more time Rumi spends with Jinu, the more she pushes Mira and Zoe away, and the more she feels conflicted. Huntrix is working on a song to take down the Soulja Boys and win the competition, which would strengthen the Hanmoon and get rid of all demons. Rumi begins to believe in Jinu's redemption. She even plans to free him from the Demon King. Honestly, it's easy to think he's changed. Then we see Jinu's hopes evaporate. The Demon King knows he intends to escape, and he reminds Jinu that his attempts are futile. Jinu left his family, and he will never be free. During the Idol Awards, Jinu uses demons to show Rumi's markings in front of the stage. This in turn leads to division within Huntrix. Rumi confronts Jinu. We learn that he lied about his past. Jinu left his family in poverty. He left for selfish reasons. He wasn't trying to help them escape it. He was trying to help himself. It's easy to judge characters like him, and we as an audience have every right. What he did was horrible, and it makes sense that he feels haunted by his actions. It's the kind of shame that lingers forever in everything we do. And it's because of this shame that he lied to Rumi about his past. Rumi also feels shame. She believes that her marks deem her unworthy, and it makes sense given that she was taught to despise them. I'll be honest, this story resonates with me. I've spent my whole life being too much, or too little, never meeting expectations. Like Rumi, I've held myself together so tightly, trying not to break at the seams. And like Jinu, I've drowned in regret many times. I was so scared of getting close to others. I thought they'd leave, or worse, they'd confirm my deepest, darkest insecurities. In this movie, we see how people give in to feelings of shame, and how these thoughts trap us. But they don't have to. The truth is, healing takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. It took me many years to muffle those voices of despair, and learn to embrace all of myself, not just the convenient parts. I've grown up, and I've learned to let my demons go, which is what happens in the final act. The Soulja Boys perform their song Idol. It's catchy, but don't be fooled. It's a trap. Before they can take the audience's souls, Rumi interrupts the concert. She chooses to act, to sing, to break the spell. Mira and Zoe break out of their trance, and they reunite, not just as a group, but as a family. Facing the truth isn't the end. They must face the Demon King, and just when they might lose, Jinu steps in, the same person who abandoned his family and lied about his past. He chooses to sacrifice his life and save Rumi. In that moment, he isn't just a pop star, demon, or traitor. He's someone trying to atone for his mistakes. Jinu's sacrifice doesn't erase everything he did. It does bring up complex questions. When is a person worthy of forgiveness? At what point do we move on? And what about us? When do we forgive ourselves? Shame makes everything feel permanent, like one mistake will forever define us. And sometimes they can, but it's what we do after that truly matters. We all hear voices, some our own, others belong to different people, but the loudest ones, the ones rooted in shame, stay the longest. That's why these narratives are important. They reflect our best and worst sides. Whether it's Rumi hiding her marks, or Jinu admitting his lie, these characters give shape to what many of us feel. That we're too much, or not enough. But there's always a shift, a turning point where someone says, "I see you," or when you say it to yourself, "Shame used to hold me captive, but I released its shackles. Now I see it, recognize it, name it, and expel it." And you can too. If this video spoke to you, take a moment to breathe, and maybe ask yourself, what would it look like to forgive yourself today? And when you're ready, check out my other video. It's right here, waiting for you.